Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-founders and co-directors of the Ridge Project and the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior. And check this out, man. If you're looking for something that's going to help empower you to get to the next level, you're in the right place.
Absolutely. Ron and I know firsthand the experience and the struggles of incarceration. Ron did 15 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and the kids and I did that time on the outside.
And we learned a lot.
A lot.
And we're still learning. We're still growing, and life is good when you're on that continuous improvement plan.
Ooh-wee, absolutely. And all of the things that we learned through our 15-year journey inside the prison, and then what it meant and how to reintegrate as Ron came home, now we are on a mission to help people coming behind us really understand what it takes to build a strong, healthy, thriving family in spite of the obstacles.
You know, seeing TYRO grow from a prison visiting room, just an idea, a concept, to now 14 states, 4 different countries, and still growing, you know, being able to serve thousands of people and helping them find their why in their life. That is really what fuels me, gets me up in the morning, and that's why we're here today, to help you find your why.
Absolutely. Now, we also recognize some of the pitfalls because we've been there. We've been through the navigating of connecting through incarceration on phone calls, letters, visits. Also, as Ron came home, what that was like. And so today, what we want to talk about is the danger of
moving too fast. And I tell you what,
there is such a thing.
And everybody that I meet, that coming home, everybody that we get to work with, you know, one of the pitfalls is, as you said it, moving too fast, going too fast. Try to play catch up. Try to make up for lost time, and we're going to talk deep about that stuff.
Yeah.
Trying to acquire so much because you miss so much, right?
And it's so easy. It's one of the key pitfalls, not pitfalls, one of the key pitfalls that people fall into as they navigate, they come out of prison where life seems so slow. They seem so disconnected. They feel like they're more a spectator than being engaged, right? Then once they get home, they are just moving so fast and creating all kinds of chaos around them. So today we want to talk about more about why we don't want you to move so fast, what the danger is of moving too fast, and how to actually achieve your dreams while you're inside and through your transition home.
So we want to talk about how not to put the cart before the horse.
It's so easy to do.
Right, and so that's what we're going to break down today. So listen.
We know you've got so much passion, so many visions and a mission, and so in order to actually accomplish your goals and dreams, you've got to have a plan. So if you're ready to really knock it down and take your life to the next level,
you don't want to miss this. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You'll begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Catherine Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
and I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And we're talking about the transition from inside the penitentiary to outside here in the community.
Or you might even be practicing this inside, moving too fast. And what we're talking about is when somebody has an idea, a vision, a concept, and they just run as fast as they can, and they leave a ton of chaos behind them, and they're knocking people down and things down in front of them, and so they're not really accomplishing anything because they're just this whirlwind spinning in circles.
You know, I know firsthand experience coming home, I wanted to pick up right where I left off. And that's another pitfall right there, where if you've done any significant amount of time, and a lot of tendencies that men have is to pick up where they left off, not realizing, hey, that stuff you did 5 years ago or 10 years ago or even a year ago, let it go.
Right.
It's not about you picking up where you left off. It's about starting right where you're at.
And it's about being present, right, in this moment, being very mindful of what's happening right now. And oftentimes, the biggest pitfall as they come home, as men and women come home, particularly fathers, that they are in a huge rush to make up for lost time. And so it's like it creates this culture shock in their family, because all of a sudden, your family is on this trajectory, right? And their schedules are crazy busy out here. I'm just telling you, and you know this, that life is fast out here. And so all of these things are happening in their life. Well, then you come home and your hurriedness, you're moving too fast, intersects with theirs, and poof, there's this whole disaster.
It collides, right?
Collides.
So what we're going to talk about today is really how do you navigate, how do you find yourself, and there's a concept inside the penitentiary, get in where you fit in. If you go to the gym and you got to be the first one to get the bench, or you got to be the first one to get in the weight room so you can call that machine, right? And then they say you're late, right? Somebody else got it, so you just got to get in where you fit in, right? When you hit the streets, we're talking about what is it? What is this thing that we have inside of us that wants us to make us move so fast? Because dads, we want to find our rightful place. Right?
And you want to do it in a hurry, right? We've seen it in our own relationship, but also thousands of other relationships where dad comes home, he's got an idea of what he wants to accomplish, his family's already on their routine, right? Completely disrupts it by saying, okay, we got to do this. Everybody else is going to stop what you're doing, and we're going to work on this, and we're going to do this together, we're going to make it happen tomorrow. And then dissension sets in, right? Then chaos comes in.
I remember trying to change things right away, and really the pushback was, hey, we've been doing this for a while now. You're not going to come in here and change our routine.
Don't disrupt, right? It's okay to interrupt.
But it's not good to disrupt, because what disrupting means that you're forcing your way in. You're forcing your way for them to move in a way that you've been envisioning for quite some time, and you don't even know if it's going to work.
Right. And so you've got this template, this prototype life in your head that you've mapped all out on paper, and then you just cannot wait to implement it. So you start running high speed, and you create a crash in your family where your kids are like, whoa, what in the world is happening? And your significant other, your wife, is just like, whoa, wait a minute. What do you mean quit my job, help you set up this business? What do you mean go back to school and do this? What do you mean you're going to all of a sudden convert our living room into this office? Whoa, slow down.
And the first thing you're going to want, guys, is I want my own weight room in the house. Right? And we're going to make breaks all day long, right? And this is ridiculous. This is crazy. So what is it? It's you taking your dream that you've had inside the institution, how you were going to run your life when you got out, taking that thing that you haven't even been able to implement inside the institution, because you're living in a structured environment where your time is set, everything's set, and you've had this dream for a long time, and you get out and you begin to implement something that's outside the comfort zone of others, but you've been willing, you've been ready, you've been at the starting gate for a long time, and you heard the gun, push, and the starting gate's open, and you run out there, but you find out, guess what? You're all alone.
You're like, wait a minute. We were supposed to be doing this together. Why aren't they aligning? Why aren't they coming with me? Why aren't they next to me? Why? And it's just, right? And then as you pause and slow down, what happens is discouragement just whap right in your face, because what you have planned and your whole prototype for your life, and you're running out the gate so fast and so furious that you're missing the opportunities to rebuild the things that you broke, to reconnect with your family, to reconnect with your kids, and you're not taking the time to stop and smell the flowers and to really reestablish your family. And so what we're talking about today about moving too fast is really important that you hear us, because it's a really common mistake. And so, do you have things that you need to catch up on? You do. Do you have things that you want to make up for? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you can make it all happen in the first day, week, month, or even year that you're home.
You know, Cathy mentioned, take time to smell the coffee. Or the coffee. I need some coffee. Take time to smell the roses. All right? So take time to smell the roses, right? In other words, listen, fellas, and we're going to really get deep into this. I already have the idea that, you know what, I'm not going to force my way in here. I want to gradually learn. I want to grow with my family. I want to see what they've been doing while I've been away. Because guess what? Your wife has been taking care of the bills. The repo man hasn't been to your house. She's doing a great job, and you want to acknowledge that. Your children, things are the way they are, but you can grow with them instead of try to overtake them.
Yeah. So when we come back, we're going to share with you why it's so important to have a plan that causes you to not run too fast. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about moving way too fast.
Whoa, and I know that you've done it in the past and that you have created disasters, but guess what? If you're not cognizant and aware, then you're gonna do it again as you transition home.
One of the secrets to really re-entering society successfully is moving at a pace that causes everybody around you and you to breathe.
That is such a good word because it was just like, oh my goodness, we can't catch our breath. I mean, Ron was like, do, and everything was chaos.
Everything.
Yeah, and it was all good stuff. And I mean, hear us. This was all great stuff. So Ron came home. He's like, hey, the basement leaks. We're going to tear up the basement. We're going to fix the basement. Oh, wow. I see that we need new blinds. We need new windows.
Everything.
So everything started becoming chaos
so
at the same time.
What could have took us a series of projects and looking at maybe, hey, well, let's take the next 3 months or 2 months and let's redo the basement. I took a 6-month time frame, windows, blinds, basement, landscape, everything had to be done.
Everything, right? And I remember our boys, like they would get up the next morning, they'd say, what are we changing today? And it was just kind of this little nervousness, like my whole life has been disrupted. Not only is my family culture changed because now Dad's back home and now I've got 2 parents here at home on my outside world, and so that's a huge adjustment all by itself. But now everything around me is changing. Everything about our schedule and structure is changing.
Now, real quick, culture shock for our boys, right? I come home. Now, for the last 15 years, I was incarcerated. Now,
this was 11 years, the first time.
Yeah, for 11 years. And all of a sudden, now they were, how old were they when I went in?
2 and 4.
So they were 2 and 4. So now they're like 14 and 15. And so now all of a sudden they see a man sleeping with their mom.
And see mom flirting with this guy openly, right? They're like, oh, wow, this is so weird, right?
Did I move too fast?
You moved too fast.
Absolutely.
So in all of that, everything, all of our routines were completely disrupted. And so it's so important to not go too fast because the security that they had in a routine was disrupted along with all of the changes. Even though it was positive change, it was still change.
And exciting change too.
Right. And change is still scary. And so when we make it less scary, when we're not like whooshing in where people are wondering what's going to happen next, we allow people to, I love that, catch your breath, breathe out, really kind of take a step back and see, oh, let me evaluate what's happening here and what's my place in this new family structure.
And why is it important to catch your breath? Because you want their buy-in.
Right.
You want to win them over by not exerting your ideas or dreams or not forcing your way into them, but having them become part of it, having them see what you've been dreaming about, and then creating a process with them
Right.
on if it's possible to even accomplish this, or listen, my family had an idea about what it was going to be like too when I came home. But did I give them a chance to share that with me? Not right away, right?
No.
No, because I've been so...
We're like, wait, this isn't what we thought it was going to be, right? And zoom, 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 like Speedy Gonzalez, and I'm not even exaggerating.
And that's what it was like. And so, but then having to take a step back, breathing, and then giving them an opportunity. Okay, how did you see my return being for you?
Right.
What did you see us doing together or not doing together?
Right. Because some of the fears, when we think about why not to go too fast? Because if you come in, that first of all, it feels like, wow, the life I built somehow wasn't good enough because everything that we had going now is disrupted, and Ron wants to change everything. So what did I do wrong? So that sense of failure, right?
Wow, I remember the first thing I changed. The first thing I changed was I painted the living room.
Yeah.
I wanted 100 green. I fell in love with the color 100 green. And I wanted the living room 100 green.
Yeah.
And so I went out, the first thing I did, and I replaced the carpet, and after we painted it, I replaced the carpet. First thing I did, I'd been only home 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so it's like everything in our entire environment changed. Everything. And so even though they were positive, good changes, it was still disruptive instead of conducive to us healing. So the first thing that happens, why it's so important to not move too fast, is because when you move too fast, the people in your life take a step back. They don't take a step forward, they take a step back. And then now you've got to re-earn that trust, that safety, that security. You hear us talk about this a lot. Trust, safety, and security being in your sphere of influence is really important. When I feel safe and protected, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to be excited. I'm going to buy into Ron's dream. I'm going to love the man and love the dream, right? But if I don't feel protected, if I don't feel safe and secure, it's hard for me to embrace his dream because I feel like, okay, well, what does that mean for my life? What does that mean for me? Can I trust him? Is he really who he says he is? And so really reestablishing that trust is so important because if you don't, then your whole family's taking a step back from you and you're creating a culture of chaos instead of a culture of peace.
Because remember, fellas, you've been dreaming about doing something, creating something, building something for quite some time. And if you get home and you try to implement what you wrote on paper and you don't really know if it's going to work and it doesn't work, man, it's going to be that much harder the next time you have an idea or dream to sell it, right? Because you disrupted their lives. You created chaos versus brought, like Cathy said, trust, safety, and security.
So the big why in this is that you're trying to, the most important reintegration you have is into your family. And so your why is that you want to build trust, rapport, relationship, and you want to find a groove that you can all support together before you take the next move. So when we come back,
we're going to talk about how to implement this, how to make this applicable in your life.
So stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man.
learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about when a father or a man who's incarcerated comes home and they want to get everything done in one day. In other words, you move way too fast.
Ooh-wee, you are moving too fast and you're creating destruction and distrust around you. So we talked about why it's so important to slow down, right?
Slow down.
You've got this prototype of a life that you really want to implement and you think, wow, as soon as I get home, I'm gonna da-da-da-da. So we're going to talk to you about how. How do you slow down and take a breath without losing sight, without losing the energy, without losing the passion and the vision to actually see things change? And so
the first thing what I want to share with you is you have a routine that you're doing inside the prison already, right? And so you want to bring what you're doing in there. Like for my example was I would have my daily devotion, my daily reading, my daily coffee, my daily quiet time in the morning, right? Before I began my day. So guess what? When I got home, guess what I began doing right away? I began my day with a moment of silence, a moment of quiet, a meditation of reading my daily devotions. I didn't stop doing that, right? Because it set my day up. Now, I also said this, now I went too fast now, right? But I also was practicing some of the routines that I was already doing, right? So another routine that I wanted to implement when I got home was working out. Now, I was only able to do that for a certain period of time because once I went to work, guess what? I couldn't go to the gym anymore. I couldn't do all that stuff. So, but I had to be okay with it, right? Mm-hmm. And so the first thing is, right? Find the things that are positive that you're doing right now inside the institution that you really enjoy doing that have made you better. How are you going to implement those things when you get home?
Right. So that was first is try to maintain some of your routine because when you do that, that creates safety for you. That makes you feel secure. For all of us are that way. It's not just someone that's been to prison. When my routine is completely disrupted, I feel out of sorts, right? So number one, routine. Number two, observe. And so that means watch how your family is functioning. Watch what's important to them. Watch the pace at which they're living and then say, okay, wow, now I'm seeing what the flow is. I'm seeing what has become typical and normal here. And I see where I fit in. And I go back to that kind of get in where you fit in. I fit in here. And then number three,
well, let me go back to number two a little bit because I want to add one thing. What's the speed limit in your house?
Right.
Right? You got to be on the same speed with your house because if your family's traveling at 35 miles per hour and they're really getting a lot done at 35 miles per hour, but you come in and you say, man, I'm a 60 mile an hour guy.
Right.
Right? I'm telling you, you're going to break some dishes. You're going to break some hearts. You're going to, because your dreams aren't going to be fulfilled because you're outpacing everybody and they're looking at you like, why is dad running so fast? Why is he acting like, why is everything so rushed? Why is he always in a hurry?
Right.
Right?
Yep. Why can't he just relax? Why can't he just play
He's
with
always
us?
so
Watch
tense.
Yeah.
You're always so tense.
And we hear that a lot, right? We hear that a lot from families. Like, wow, ever since he came home, he's always tense. He's always in a hurry. He can't sit down. He can't relax. And so, number one, finding your own routine is going to help you with that. Number two, observing what your family routine is and how you can fit in your activities, how you can fit in the ways that you want to connect with your family without completely disrupting. It's okay, remember, to interrupt, but you don't want to completely disrupt. So the third thing is one step at a time. So this prototype of a life that you've built, like you've mapped out all the things you want to accomplish, build one thing at a time. Introduce one thing. Hey, you know what? This is my dream. I'd really like to investigate this together. Now, instead of you rushing forward and saying, you're all going to do this, you're going to jump on my bandwagon, don't worry about where I'm taking you, you just get on my bus, right? Instead, you're saying, hey, let's design the bus together and let's figure out how this is going to work. One step at a time.
You know, one of the things that we encourage our fathers that we get to work with do is when you get home, create a vision board, right? Create a vision board with your family on how they want to see, now that I'm home, where do we want to be in 5 years? What have you been dreaming about while I was gone?
Yep.
And let's go find pictures in magazines. Let's go find pictures and books, and let's cut them out and let's create our own family vision board. Where do we see our family in the next 5, 10 years from now? And then let's create a process on how we're going to get there. And then let's figure out which ones do we want to accomplish in what order.
Yes,
Right?
yes, because order, that's why one thing at a time. As you begin one thing at a time, and you can be very passionate about building the foundation. But when you build a house, you don't start digging and building walls at the same time. You dig, then you pour your foundation, then you build the walls on top of that, and then you put in your all of the pretty stuff, right? But if you run in and try to do everything all at once, nothing gets done. It just becomes chaos. So as you practice these 4 things, and I hope you have a piece of paper and a pencil and you're writing this down. Number 1, keep part of your routine, right? Keep something in your routine that helps you stay balanced, helps you feel secure and in charge. Number 2, observe your family's routine.
And number 3, one step at a time. One step at a I like that number 2 though. Observe your family. Watch what they're doing. They've been doing pretty good without you. You've been that cheerleader in their life, and they've been doing it. Don't take it personal. If you feel left out, cheer them on.
Right.
Encourage them.
And I promise you, even though they have a routine, they've been doing pretty good without you, they need you. They need you in their life.
Most of the time when we're working with families, we encourage the families on the outside. They're building something for you when you get home.
Right.
And they're not building it without you. In fact, they're building it with you always in their heart and mind.
So number 3, again, was one step at a time. And number 4 was create a vision board together with your family so you all know, you're all on the same page and you know what you're working towards. So we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we're going to tie it all up for you in our last segment of today's show. Stop sprinting. Stop moving too fast. We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we've been talking about don't move too fast when you get home. You know,
Right?
slow it down, slow down. You know, when we think about that, I know firsthand from my personal and from men I met prior to me coming home and actually working with men and helping them navigate to slow down. You know, we have that Aldi's mentality, right? We got that type of attitude where, you know what, I got to get mine or I'm going to miss out. We got that, I'm going to miss out
I have to
mindset.
catch up for this lost time this week, right? And it doesn't work that way. You've got a lifetime to catch up, right? You're in a lifetime of continuous improvement. You don't have to get everything done in the first couple of weeks. You're going to create chaos if you try to do that. And so we talked in the last segment, we gave you 4 important tools and tips that you can use to help you not move too fast, but to keep moving. See, the opposite of moving too fast is being stuck and frozen. You don't want to be that either. You want to find the balance.
So the first one we talked about, fellas, was with find that routine that you really like, that you've created inside the penitentiary that has helped you become better, not bitter, and see if you can carry that with you when you hit the streets, when you come home. For example, I gave the example of what I did in the morning, every morning when I was incarcerated, morning cup of coffee, my morning reading, everything I did, just really quiet my down, prepare myself for the day. If that's what you're doing, then bring that with you, right?
And number 2, observe. Watch how your family, what pace is your family moving at? Watch what things are important to them, right? Figure out where can you fit in, where can you help even make this culture better, right? Don't try to disrupt. Remember, we said it's okay to interrupt, right? But it's not okay to disrupt. Disrupt means everything falls apart and it no longer exists. Interrupt means that you might come and maybe it goes off a little bit different. That's okay. You're creating a new culture as a whole family, but observe your family and their routines.
And number 3 was one step at a time. In other words, don't multitask. Right?
Don't try to do it all.
Don't try to do it all, and don't try to do it all by yourself, right? But win your family over by sharing your dreams one step at a time. Tell them what you've been dreaming about, what you've been thinking about, and then say, what's the lowest hanging fruit that you and your family can accomplish together. Grab the lowest hanging fruit. Don't try to grab something that's so high and lofty that's going to take you forever to get it done, right? Grab the lowest hanging fruit and accomplish that. Get a win under your belt.
And number 4, create a family vision board. Sit down together with your family. Get a poster board, a piece of paper, a cardboard box, right? Side of a cardboard box. And start either drawing pictures or cutting out pictures of magazines and put it on that vision board and say, where do we want to be in 5 years? What do we want to do in 5 years? And that way you're charting out a course and have buy-in of your whole family.
So slow down when you get home. Don't try to accomplish everything in one day. Hey, listen, thank you so much for letting us be part of your journey here on TYRO TV. And always remember that we are rooting for you.